room full of strangers with name tags gleaming, people chatting in certain clusters, and you wonder that why am I even here? Has that ever happened with you? Or could show of hands? Yes? So glad that it has happened with all of you. Happened with me just a couple of weeks back. So I was at a networking event in Oberoi, Gurgaon, where there was an August cohort of people who have gathered there. People were there from diverse industries, somebody from telecom, somebody from the automobile industry, some people from Hero Honda, and a mixture of marketing, IT, and telecom sector. And when I was there in this August group, what generally happens in a networking event is you always find two things. One is that's the place where anxiety meets the art of networking, and they both come together and sit on a common seat. Why I say so is I'll take you back in experience. In my experience, whenever I have been to any networking event, I have always gone there for one reason, which was towards the end of the event, there is a cocktail party. So all my friends as well, all my colleagues as well, we always say, okay, when is the cocktail party? We'll probably be just 1 hour before that and attend the event for 1 hour and then have the cocktail party. But this time around, as I read this Toastmaster objective, I thought I'll make a difference. So I went into this Oberoi networking event with an intent that I will not only attend that event and obviously have the cocktails, but I'll also connect with people out there. And this was what was the biggest part. And how I learned it is what I'll share with you. So, me being my confident self, I went into that networking event early. So it started at 6. I reached there at 5:30, enjoyed the Oberoi hotel a bit, and then landed into the event, did my registration, went inside, and I saw a lot of people just chatting out there, all strangers, some in clusters with their name tags gleaming and talking. And there I was, and I thought I would do a magic out here. So what I did, the first thing, I picked up a cup of coffee, put it as a shield against my chest, stood there, spoke with nobody, and then in the immediate awkwardness, I pulled out my phone, scrolled my phone as if I'm checking emails, and then I started looking around as if who I can talk to. And then I found one gentleman just as lost as me, standing in the corner room. And I thought I can make a difference. So I walked into him, took a deep breath, walked into him and said, "Hi, I am Rajdeep. What brings you here?" And he started with his ideas. That discussion then went on for 20 whole minutes, wherein he spoke about how artificial intelligence in HR is changing human lives too. And those of you who don't know, I am a HR IT professional. And I was so very intrigued that he's talking about something that I know, and I was able to contribute to that discussion. And as I started talking about my experiences, he was a senior vice president in a particular organization. He introduced me to 2 other colleagues of his who were vice president, one was an AVP in organization, and what they are doing in their space in artificial intelligence and HR domain. I, at that very moment, realized that this networking connect is something that a small hello, a small hi, can break the shackles for you and make you learn so much more. That was the first lesson that I learned with that very day, and I categorized this as something called as connect can sometimes be more than only attend. And when you connect, sometimes you end up learning much more. So with that particular confidence gained in to say that, oh, I can maybe learn from here, what I did is I went into the next cohort. So there was a group of individuals who were talking about stuff, and as usual I started with my introduction and I said, "Hi, I am Rajdeep, I am an AVP in Airtel Digital. I do this, I do that." The person from the front also introduced that, "Hi, I am Rohit. I am a senior vice president at Royal Enfield, and I do this." And then there was another lady who was from Hero Honda Motor Corp. She said that, "Oh, I am a vice president. I lead this IT agenda in performance management." This was a good discussion. But soon after that, I went to the next cohort. The next cohort, I tried to do something differently. I spoke in that cohort by introducing myself as, "Hi, I am Rajdeep. I change business landscape in HR by building products which can actually save 10% of your workforce. We recently worked on a product that saves 10% of the workforce, and that automation activity can help people." Audience there was glued to what I am saying. So again, a small group of cohort, but then I continued, and I said, recently at Airtel we implemented this, which has saved 10% of the workforce, which means that if you have 100 people, you have reduced it to 90. Just imagine if you have 20,000 people, like in Airtel we have, you can reduce it to 18,000. 2,000 people saved, 2,000 into say 20 lakhs of salary probably that they take on an average per annum translates to how much amount. And that is the group that had the maximum traction in what I wanted to convey. And everybody in that group then started with what they are changing. A gentleman spoke about how they are changing a KPI in finance. He was from some Muthoot Birla firm from a finance, and he spoke about how a 2% change in their KPIs in finance has helped them with an entire vertical reduction. The difference that you would understand in both these approaches was, and the lesson that I learned from them was a stark one. First one is, when you speak about titles are sometimes called very low below stories. In the first group, we were speaking about titles, and then we were talking about a project. But in the second group, if you see, we were talking about stories. And that is the art that probably I have learned as a part of being Toastmasters. Thank you, Toastmasters. The art of storytelling. And this particular art has actually helped me build that particular story. So the second lesson that I learned was, what is important in a networking event is not your title. It's not how you present yourself there. It is the art of how you are able to make a change and how that is bringing about an impact in the organizations. And believe me not, with that storytelling aspect, what has happened. The next, almost the third day, I got a call from a CHR of a particular company who was in that particular cohort. Somebody might have told them that, that this gentleman spoke about this, and that lady spoke about to me that how they can implement this in their organization, and can they come to Airtel over a cup of coffee and understand it from our teams. That is the beauty of storytelling that I learned, and networking can actually teach you. It can pull you up into streams that you will not even realize, and if you just stick to titles, it may be into a stream that may not be very fruitful. The best thing that I learned that particular day was, networking is not only about being extrovert. I always had this option that you have to be extrovert, you should be on the speaking stage, you should be talking about something. Networking is not that. Networking is about what is your intention. If your intention is to learn, a networking event can actually teach you much more. And that is how you can grow. We in our Toastmasters community as well find great leaders who are present in the club and can teach us a lot more. But sometimes we come to a club with the fact that I know it all. And that is the fact that sometimes restricts our knowledge as well. And we would relate to a lot of people that would exist. That day has taught me a lot in how I can manage my skills, and I believe even you can learn a lot from a proper networking persona. Not just that cup in your hand, holding it as a shield like Hercules, but maybe just walking forward and saying, "Hi, I'm Raj." Over to Toastmaster today.